Hello everybody and welcome back to another Druid Archer Let's Play episode featuring Araelas and his best buddy Big Ol' Bjorn the Bear. Okay, so last episode we went to, I think it was Shadow Green Cavern up here? Lost Echo Cave, yeah, Shadow Green Cavern. Which is where the forest was kind of pointing us in the direction to for the next sort of boon of her scene, I think. And, oh geez, that Harrier is loud, isn't he? It's like a deer or something way out over there. Oh, that reminds me, I still have my, I was making screenshots. So I still have my depth of field set to extreme. Need to set that back to default there. There we go. Alright, that should be enough. I don't know. Did it take... Okay. It didn't take. Alright, that looks better. I think all this fog was just adding to the blurriness there. Okay, so we meditated at... oh no, we didn't meditate. We just went to Shadow Green Cavern, and we harvested a bear there that had attacked us, where the Spriggans were sort of testing Araelas, just to make sure that he's staying sharp with his hunter skills. And he was not found lacking. That's good. He harvested one of the bears there, and he ended up with this strange bone, much like we got from Clear Spring Cavern. But this time we have the Elm Ritual Bone. Okay, but now we're back at home camp. We have our nice warm roaring fire here. We have our nice warm snuggly bear there too. So let's go ahead and take another swig of this strange brew. Gives you strange ideas for things to brew. Also gets you really drunk. Araelas doesn't mind that. Okay, so now let's fire up the old scrimshaw, see what we can do with that strange bone that we harvested. Here we go. This looks familiar, right? Okay, so now we have another strange strange artifact that in our drunken trance we sort of went on autopilot and crafted. Started carving away at this bone, and this is what we're left with. It looks very familiar. It looks very reminiscent of the last one, but there's a distinctly different energy coming from it. So Araelas is going to sit down and meditate. Let's go ahead and get that going. And he is going to let his fingertips feel the different cracks and cuts in that bone, and he is going to get another vision. So this time he's seeing a large upright stone. It sparkles with a sheen of hoarfrost. It's coiled around it, and coiled around it is a fleshless, unliving serpent. This vision abruptly ends. Okay, so Araelas is going to think on this for a little while, but that sounds strangely familiar to him. Now, when he thinks of sparkling, shining hoarfrost, he thinks of the very northeast of Skyrim, up here toward Winterhold. That's strange, we've actually never been in Winterhold. But we spent a lot of time in Windhelm. And we've actually been to the Serpent Stone. I don't know if we actually captured that footage or not. But I think off camera I'm going around trying to find all the different standing stones, just so I can try to unlock the hidden power of the Lady Stone. That comes through Andromeda. I haven't found them all yet. I think I'm missing one over here. Maybe I should go back and get that one soon. Anyway, as I was saying, Araelas has actually been to the Serpent Stone, and that vision is very reminiscent of what he's seen there. But it's a little late in the afternoon. We're probably just going to hang out here for the rest of the day, try to rest off the rest of the effects of that strange brew that seems pretty strong. Stronger than just a regular Nord mead, that's for sure. So we're going to rest up. It was kind of a long journey, all the way to Hafengar and back. And we have another long journey all the way up to Winterhold after this, so we're going to go ahead and try to get 10 hours of sleep. We're going to fill our bellies, make sure we have the provisions for the trip, and we will head off. Oh yeah, super hungry, and our fire went out on us. Alright, so I'm going to relight the fire. And also Araelas has a sneaking suspicion he's going to be camping out over in that area again, much like he did over, where's that other place called? Yeah, Evergreen Grove over here. So we're going to make sure that we take our bedroll, and that we're supplied to be able to cut wood, or just probably bring the dead wood with us this time, because from Araelas' memory, there aren't a whole lot of trees down there, which are up there, which is part of the reason why he hated that place so much. So he's not looking forward to this next jaunt, but this is sort of a trial for him, and he needs to prove his strength and his dedication to all this in order to get the boon that has been promised to him. So, okay, what's next here? We need deadwood. We need to go ahead and pack up this bedroll. We need to make sure we have food and water, and we are hungry and thirsty anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and take care of that, and we will be on our way. Troll up here somewhere? Okay. No problemo. King's Heart works really well. It's extremely strong gameplay-wise, but it does get a little annoying, in my opinion. I don't know what it is. It could just be the sound. It tends to take up a lot of screen real estate. Just not my favorite thing to look at and hear. Although it does fit the character pretty well. Alright, what else is out here? Spiders, maybe? Another... more necromancers. What else is still out here? Oh, another troll. Silly troll. There we go. So yeah, I think it might be time for maybe a revamp of what we got hooked up to Okado's recital. Tree Ring seems to do fine. That's already has a healing effect on it. King's Heart increases skill levels on pretty much everything, which makes Araelas stronger. I would argue that Araelas doesn't really need to be any stronger at the moment. He's almost too strong as it is. But I don't know. I'll think about it. We got a long journey ahead of us, so we have some time, I suppose. So I would say that Araelas' spirits are probably dipping a little bit at the moment. It's not that he doesn't enjoy the plains. It's just that he likes the forest so much, and it's so much a part of him, that as he leaves it behind, he kind of leaves a part of himself behind, I would say. He also knows that as the trees disappear and the weather starts to get colder as he goes farther and farther north, that he's kind of getting closer and closer to the physical place that he was when he was at his darkest point in his life. Where sort of the claustrophobia and xenophobia of Windhelm got to him, and kind of drilled its way deepest into him. So there is a little bit of PTSD there, I think. A little bit of geographical memory, sort of, I would say. And that's coming back to him. He's really not looking forward to this journey and meditating at this place. Alright, so this fella here, Araelas can sense a great darkness coming from this guy. But it's not sort of the same darkness that he felt at Cragwallow's Slope back at the beginning of his adventures in Skyrim. It's not a dark, undead, evil energy, but it is definitely dark. And yet, it's somehow familiar to him too. Like he's encountered this kind of energy before. In more ways than one, he will say. And since he's in sort of a dark mood right now, Araelas is going to try to avoid this guy. It looks like he's in need of some help. His wagon has broken down there, but Araelas is feeling a bit afraid of not only what he might do and what he might become, but what he has done and what he has become. So he's just going to leave it at that. Well, there's another cat, it looks like, right? Another saber cat? We can use that. Totally missed. How is that is that going right through that damn cat? Here we go. Expert archer my ass. That was actually my fault. Sorry, Araelas, I know. That wasn't a good look for you, but that was totally my fault. Okay, so we still have the right amulet on. Let's cross our fingers and see what we get here. We're getting hungry and thirsty. Tooth, eye, heart, claws, large animal bone, flawless saber cat tooth. Strange cat claw. Yeah, we got it. Nice. Okay. So now we are not going to be forced to scour the plains for another cat that we can harvest a strange cat claw for. So that's good. That's great, actually. That enables us to do the next step of the Druidic rites portion of Hunterborn without having to take another pre-adventure, so to speak, for the next step. Okay, and now Araelas is getting to the point where the weather really turns for the worst. This is even though we have trees around now, which is nice, the cold really brings Araelas back to where he was at his darkest hour. And that's not a good feeling to him, even though, you know, we got an asshole up here. Even though Araelas doesn't feel the exposure like a normal person does.
Alright, hand over your valuables, or I would gut you like a fish.
You don't want to do this.
Nice try, but you do not scare me.
Alright then.
I am not going to ask again.
We warned you.
Never should have.
Oh. Bow bash didn't work. I think I shot my Luna Familiar twice instead of the Thief, but that's alright. Didn't look that bad. Wow, that Thief almost took us out, didn't he? He probably tastes pretty good. Oh yeah. Health and stamina, we could use that. Yeah, so Araelas is not quite going back into the dark spot that he was back when he had his encounters with the Dark Brotherhood, and when he was sort of freaked out a little bit in Windhelm. But he is being reminded of that dark place that he was at, and that is enough. Some fishiness going on over here too, but we don't have time. And that's enough to put him in a foul mood, for sure. Put him on edge. Now, I think we've already cleared this place out. This is usually a necromancer hideout. I don't see any skeletons on the walls or anything, so I think when we clear this out, at least using immersive patrols, that this place gets taken over by either the Imperials or the Stormcloaks. I see some horses in there. Oh yeah. Speaking of Imperials and Stormcloaks, it looks like they're at it again. This fight is not Araelas' fight, so we're going to do our best to avoid it. I think for every character, it's kind of interesting to explore what side they would take in the Civil War. For many characters, they just won't take a side. For Araelas, he wouldn't take a side, definitely, for sure. But if he had to, if he were forced, he would probably take the side of the Stormcloaks. Just because I have a feeling that the Stormcloaks would be a little more respectful for the land, just because they have a little more respect for it, a little more respect for Skyrim itself. The Imperials have a greater chance of... Where did Bjorn go? He didn't get mixed up in all that nonsense, did he? No, he's his own bear. He can do what he wants. Something tells me the Imperials would be more likely to overly deforest this place. They would take way too much lumber, way too much wood in the pursuit of what is in their eyes progress in the form of larger civilizations, and they might take too many trees down. The Nords at least seem to have a reverence for this place, and they wouldn't at least purposefully scalp it too much, you know. Well, this is good. We're getting closer here, and we're seeing more and more trees, more than either I or Araelas remembers. So, that's encouraging. Maybe this won't be so bad after all. Spiders. Alright, spiders are something that Araelas does not have an affinity with. There's something a little darker going on there than just nature. Especially these large ones. Looks like they're having some kind of territory battle over there. May as well take out the rest of them. Did I go way too far? Alright. Well, it's on. Okay, we can get some poisons from these guys, that's for sure. Now, one nice thing about... Oh, that's where I missed. I did go way too far, didn't I? One nice thing about running these nice LOD mods like Dindalod and Lodgen is that you can see a lot of detail really far away. Now, this Serpent Stone is way the hell out there, right? In a vanilla game, it would be really hard to see where that Serpent Stone is, but here, if you look straight ahead, right where the arrow is pointing, you can actually see the Serpent Stone sort of Stonehenge formations way out there in the distance. That makes it a lot easier to get around without the use of maps, especially in sort of tundra and plains areas like this. Adds a whole level of immersion that isn't just visual to your game. So if you have the capability of running something like Dandalod or Lodgen, or even both, I highly recommend it. It's a lot to learn. It's a lengthy process, and it takes forever to generate the detailed LODs, but it's well worth it in my opinion. Okay, we can see the Serpent Stone formations even from all the way out here. So that helps us get our bearings. That helps us to determine where we're going. Even if it doesn't help us find a path across here that allows us to stay dry. Okay, here we go. Now, we're getting... yeah, we see some ice wraiths over here. So, you know what? Let's use shadow passing. See if that helps. I mean, it's bright-ass daylight out here, so... I don't know how much it's actually going to help, especially with these Thief Tools rebalance that we're running for the stealth system in this game, but maybe we can... take these out like a proper hunter, huh? Okay, so far so good. Oh, not so good. That's alright. Seem to remember there being 2 of them around here, but maybe not. Okay, so we have found our next target, and that is the Serpent Stone, way the hell out here in the Sea of Ghosts. We did find our way out here. We got a little wet. I was not able to find a way to get here without swimming. Most places, most destinations out here you can get to just by jumping from ice draft to ice draft, but that didn't seem to be the case around here. Which is strange, because I seem to remember that there was a way to do it, but even now, standing on top of this high-ass vantage point, I'm not seeing another way around. But anyway, this is where the forest was leading us. This is the point of our next hint, I suppose, or maybe once we are able to set up camp here and meditate here for a few days, we will get a new power to add to our arsenal. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Let's make up a fire. We did drag a bunch of dead wood out with us, so we should be alright there. Bring up our resourcefulness. Build a campfire, we'll put it right there. I don't think we need a roaring campfire for this, so we'll just use a regular small fire, and we'll set up our bedroll, and we will get to meditating. Oh, we can actually make some food here. That's pretty good. Get all stocked up, because we're going to be here for a while, I think. It's a little close to the fire, but whatever. It's a video game, people. Alright. You know, what does this place have to tell us? You sense that your tribute is nearly finished, but you must brood at the sacred location for a time. Will you now fast and meditate here for a day? Yes. Okay, so 24 hours and our little elven bladder is about to burst. So we're going to have to take care of our biological needs here. We'll have some of this troll. Some rabbit. Mud crab legs. Here we go. Very thirsty. There we go. We're going to have to remake this fire, and we're going to get some sleep. Now, much like Evergreen Grove, Araelas is feeling a little restless in this place. And part of it is because he's so close to discovering what the forest wants him to know about this sacred location, but there's also a lot of power buzzing around this area. It is definitely a sacred location. It definitely does have a strong energy to it. So just unraveling that mystery is enough to keep Araelas awake, but another part of it is there just is so much energy lying just beneath the surface here. The energy that he's trying to get to, the essence of the energy of this place itself, is keeping him awake just because it is so powerful. So we're going to go ahead and try to get a few hours of sleep at least. I'm going to go ahead and set it for 6, even though it won't be restful. And that has something to do with his beast blood as well, but... Oh, Bjorn's looking a little frosty there. Let's go ahead and refuel our fire, just so it stays up and running. Looks like we're almost out of wood, too. It's not good. Alright. Sit here in the rain. Actually, I'm more concerned for Bjorn than I am Araelas at this point. Araelas has some magical immunity to the elements, but Bjorn doesn't, and he's no snow bear. But as long as he's got that fire, I think he'll be okay. Okay, what is this place trying to tell us? Nothing yet. We're still trying to discover it. Our biological needs are taken care of, although we are very hungry. Bjorn, you okay, buddy? He's still breathing. He hasn't moved. I think he'll be okay. Okay, we don't have any... Or, we have some dead wood left, but not enough to refuel our fire. Hopefully we don't have to be here too much longer. Try to get some more sleep. And back at it. Still nothing, huh? Let's take one quick pass at this island and see if we can find some more deadwood. For another fire. No trees. Alright, Bjorn, we're just gonna have to keep each other warm. Don't get any ideas, I'm not that kind of elf. Alright, back to sleep. Alright, you cold, dead snake. What the hell is it you're trying to tell me? Here we go. Alright, so our devotion and sincerity to her scene have been recognized. You feel fulfilled. I'm sorry, you feel filled and revivified? Oh, Spirit of the Forest definitely isn't an English major, is it? Bestowed with a gift of considerable power from your Daedric benefactor. Okay, what did we get? What did we get? Shepherd beasts. Okay, something tells me this is not going to be too useful for somebody who already has a way with animals. Nearby animals will not attack and their life forces are visible for 180 seconds. Okay, so this will give us a little predator vision. For animals, absolute command over beasts forces them into submission and reveals their life essence when near. Okay, so this might be a little bit useful, especially for things like spiders and charas and trolls and things that we don't inherently have command over. This might help us out a little bit. This will just give us the little boost we need to be able to force an affinity with them, at least temporarily. So, okay, we could use that maybe. But first, we need to get the hell out of here, right? Let's go ahead and destroy this campfire. Pick up our bedroll. Alright, Bjorn, what do you say we get out of this mess? Okay, so here we are at the inn in Winterhold. What is that? The Frozen Hearth Inn. We've never been to Winterhold before. Araelas is not really sure he likes the place, but it's better than the Serpent Stone. Bjorn made it out without freezing to death, like a frozen mammoth in the side of a glacier. He made it through. We're in here warming up next to the fire. The innkeep did not want to let Bjorn in, but he also did not want to tell us no, so here Araelas is with a cave bear in an inn. That's right. So I think that's it for this episode. We got some boon of the Spirit of the Forest in the form of, what was that power called? Shepherd Beasts. It doesn't really give us much of anything that we didn't have before, but it does give our power of persuasion over animals a little bit of a boost, which helps. Now, we also do have a strange cat claw that we can use to create our next ritual bone ring, which we'll do next episode, and we'll follow that up with the next step of this adventure, of course. But I think that'll do it for this episode. So, yeah. Until next time, take care, and see you then.